Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, welcome again to your English language reading. For today, this is our third class, and I'm so glad to meet you again. Our class today is going to be reading passages and practice. We're going to do some exercises, how to get meaning from the context, how to get meaning of words from context, how to identify the main idea, and also we're going to test our understanding of pronoun reference and understanding some words and some phrases, and at the end we will have a list of vocabularies, and I want you to understand the meanings of vocabularies, and these are vocabularies, and to use them. Okay, so our exercises are based on your textbook Interaction 2, Chapter 1. Okay, so for here, this is one of the passages that you have in your textbook. Campus life is changing. It's Chapter 1. We have here a list of 3 questions. The first question, what is the topic and what is the main idea? And then we have a third question, according to the passage, how today's students are different from traditional students. Okay, let us first answer the first question. What is the topic? Okay, first of all, let us read. For many years in the United States, most undergraduate students in their first 4 years of college were 18 to 20 years old. They attended college full-time, lived in a dormitory on campus, and expected many extras from their colleges, not just classes. But things began to change in the 1970s and are very different from now. Today, students are the majority. They are different from traditional undergraduates in several ways. They are different in several ways. They are older. Many attend college part-time because they have families and jobs. Most live off campus, not in dormitories. These traditional students do not want the extras that colleges usually offer. So these non-traditional students do not want the extras that colleges usually offer. They actually are not interested in the sports, entertainment, religious groups, and museums that are part of most U.S. colleges. They want mainly good quality classes, day or night, at low cost. They also hope for easy parking, access to information technology, and polite service. Both time and money are important to them. So right here, we are talking about the non-traditional. Okay, when I say non-traditional, it means the opposite of a traditional students. So, what is the topic of this passage? Well, generally speaking, the topic, you can find it actually in the first part of the paragraph. For example, so you need to look at, you need to look at the beginning of the passage of the paragraph. So the beginning was, for many years in the United States, most undergraduate students were 18 to 20 years old. They attend college full-time, lived in a dormitory on campus, and expected many extras from their colleges, not just classes. But things began to change in the 1970s and are very different now. Okay, so we are talking about the traditional. So when someone asks you about the topic, you want to see the repetitive words like traditional students. Okay, so we have undergraduate students, traditional students, non-traditional students, and here we have non-traditional students. Again, we have also some pronouns like they. These pronouns refers to traditional or non-traditional. So basically, we're talking about undergraduate. So the difference between traditional and untraditional or non-traditional students. Okay, so we're talking about the difference between traditional and non-traditional students. So this is how can we get the topic of the sentence? We just look at the repetitive nouns or the repetitive phrases. So how many times the students mentioned? One here, and then we have traditional students, and we have college students, we have non-traditional students. So we are talking about two parts of the students, traditional and non-traditional. What is the main idea of this passage? The main idea, again, you can find it in the second part of the, on the first, at the beginning of the paragraph, the first or the second or the third paragraph. Let us read just the first, without reading the whole passage. We just read the first, second, and third paragraph. If it's not clear, if you can't get the main idea from the first line, you should read the second and the third until it's clear. Okay? Let us read again. For many years in the United States, most undergraduate students in their first 4 years of colleges were 18 to 20 years old. They attend college full-time, lived in a dormitory campus, and expected many extras from their colleges, not just the classes. But things began to change. Things began to change in 1990s. This is actually one of the signs to indicate that here is the author's point of view. Here is the point of view of this passage. So things began to change and are very different now. Today, these traditional students are less than 1/4 of all college students. These days, the traditional, so here is the turn of this passage. نقطة التحول. So it starts talking about the opposite idea. Okay? So things began to change in 1970s and are very different now. Today, these traditional students are less than 1/4 of all college students. So this is one of the main ideas, okay? The main idea of the passage, okay? That the number of these traditional students are less than 1/4 of all college students. Okay, according to the passage, so here is the main idea. We found it at the beginning of the paragraph. Number 3, according to the passage, how today's students are different from traditional students. How are they different from traditional students? So, first of all, you have now here 4 options. Non-traditional students are the minority. Non-traditional students are not working these days. And non-traditional students live on campus. And number 4, non-traditional students are the majority and part-timer. Well, if you look at the first option, non-traditional students are the minority. Well, this is not true because in this sentence it shows that these days the non-traditional students are the majority. Okay, so number 1 is incorrect. Number 1 is incorrect. Okay, number 2, non-traditional students are not working these days. Are not working these days. Well, now you just keep reading. They are different from theirs in several ways. They are older. Many attend college part-time because they have families and jobs. When I say part-time, and they also work. Because they work, okay? So they have a job for their families. So the second one is incorrect because non-traditional students have a job because they have family. Okay, so here is one. As you can see, when you look at the options, the first option we have the minority, and the opposite of it is the majority. If you look at the second choice, we have working, we have job. So we have kind of synonyms. Kalimat have the same meanings but different letters, okay? They have different letters and sounds but have the same meaning. Working and job, they are almost the same. The third choice, non-traditional students live on campus. Okay, so we have live on campus. You just go and do scanning. You know, remember the scanning? We're looking for specific information, specific details. Live on campus. Where do we find live on campus? Right here. Live off campus. So this answer is incorrect because the opposite of this actually is live on campus. The opposite, النقيض إلها, live off campus, which means students live outside the university, not inside the university. So they live outside. Outside the university, live outside the university means live off campus. So this answer, this selection is incorrect. The fourth one, non-traditional students are majority and part-time. And that's true because we have the majority right here and they are also part-timer, as you can find it just below it. So number 4 is correct. As you can see, when I look at these options, the first one, the second, and third, and the fourth, I need to find some clue words. Okay, some clue words, and then do scanning because we're looking for specific details, specific information. While in the second question, I've read the first, the second, and the third sentence to get the main idea. Do you understand? I hope so. Okay, let us move on. Words and phrases. As you read, it's important to begin noticing words that often go together. Some words, they go together. Go back to a paragraph number 8, just the previous one. Find words to complete the following phrases and write them in the blanks and most of these actually prepositions. Prepositions معناتها حروف جر. Okay, if we go back, lived in a campus. They lived in a dormitory on campus. So we have on or off campus. So lived in, on campus, off campus. The opposite is off campus. So I want you to know these phrases or these words that come in phrases together. Okay? So lived in, I live in KSA. I live on campus. I live off campus. So these actually prepositions and verbs or words, they come together. So please memorize them. This is important. Many, college, part-time. If we go back, we will find right here it's right here. We have many attend college part-time. Many attend. What does many attend? Right here. Attend means يلتحق, to attend college part-time. So this is verb, okay? Attend is a verb. And then we have access, information technology. Let's go back. Okay, so if you look at the last sentence, access to information technology. Access to information technology. So please do memorize them. Memorize means تذكروهم and how you use them. Okay? Okay, let's move on. Understanding pronoun reference. In the last passage, we have some pronouns that refer to some nouns. Do you know the rules of a pronoun reference? Have you done all the exercises I gave you in the first 2 lectures? please do all the pronoun references. Remember the rules, okay? Look back now at the reading selection, Campus Life is Changing, to find the meanings of the following pronouns. What does each pronoun refer to? So this is a very common question. You will face these questions in your final exam. For example, they, paragraph A, line 2. Let's go back and see the pronoun they. Right here. So it is in line 2. Let us first clean all of this. Yeah, let me erase them. And here, they attended. Right here, this is a pronoun. So the question is, it refers to what? Refers to what? Let's go back and see how we have here years, it's a plural. You know, they refers to plural nouns. And we have here students and the United States. They refers to students. Students attend college full-time. Okay, so the answer is the students. So the answer here is students. Okay, they in paragraph A, line 6. Let's go back. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, right here. They have families and jobs. Who are they? Who are they? Both of them refer to students again. And the last one right here, them paragraph is just the same. Them paragraph A, line 12. If we go back and just count 9, 12, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we have, actually it's number 10. Important to them. Again, it is also refers to both time and money are important to non-traditional students. To non-traditional students. Let me remind you of the following. In your final exam, some of the passages are seen and some of the passages are unseen. When I say passages are seen, I may bring the same, ممكن, I probably bring some of these passages to your final exam. Okay, so please read them again and again. And some of them outside of your textbooks, but they are alike. Okay, asking you in these passages about what is the main idea, what is the topic, the pronoun references, and how to get the meaning from the context. All these skills, you need to master them. You need to do a lot of exercises on these skills to master them. Okay, we have another paragraph B. Let us read it together. Psychological texts reflect different learning styles in this new student population too. Each person has a certain learning style, and about 60% of the new students these days prefer the sensing style. This means that they are very practical. They prefer a practice-to-theory method of learning, which is experience first and ideas after that. Okay, they often have difficulty with reading and writing and are unsure of themselves. Most of these students are attending college because they want to have a good job and make a lot of money. Okay, what is the topic of this paragraph? Again, we are talking about the psychological test on that reflect learning styles in this new student population. So we're talking about learning. So we're talking about learning styles in the students population. So we're talking about learning styles. Learning styles. Learning styles in students population. As you can see, we can identify the topic from the first or the second line. So what is the main idea? what it says that like each person has a certain learning style. This is the main idea. Each person, we look at the beginning, each person has a certain learning style, and about 60% of the new students these days prefer the sensing style. So this is the main idea. This is the passage point of view. Okay, right here in the green. So here is the main idea. Interesting. So number 1, number 2, and here's number 3. According to the passage, وفقا لهذه الفقرة, what do 60% of the new students prefer these days? They prefer practice to theory method of learning, or they prefer theory to practice theory method of learning. Now, just we look at the structure. Here is the key words, the most important words. And we do scanning now. We look back to the passage and just move our eyes quickly. Let us do it. Right here, they prefer practice to theory method of learning. So the answer is A, practice to theory method of learning. I need to practice just like we do. We do practice exercises, and then we understand the theory method. Okay, we understand the idea through exercises. The traditional students, they were just receiving information without practicing, without doing exercises. So this is a traditional way. However, the non-traditional way is as the following. You do exercises like this one, and then you understand the idea. Okay, so let us move on. Here is paragraph C. In contrast, other students, but not as many, prefer the intuitive learning style. So we have now two styles, the sensing style and intuitive learning style. These students love ideas. They love ideas. They prefer a theory to practice method of learning and enjoy independent, creative thinking. These intuitive are not very practical. They are attending college because they want to create unique works of art or study philosophy or someday help in the field of science. So as you can see here in paragraph C, we have the opposite idea. In paragraph B, people prefer practice to theory method. Now here the opposite. Here people some students prefer a theory to practice method. So if I ask you now, what is the relationship or how is the paragraph B related to paragraph C? كيف لهم علاقة ببعض? We have the contrast here. Do you remember the contrast idea in النقيض? So we have one point of view and we have the opposite. What is the topic here? The topic here is talking about the intuitive learning. Intuitive learning style. It's talking about intuitive learning style. What is the main idea? The main idea is that students they prefer theory to practice method of learning and enjoy independent and creative thinking. Okay, this is the main idea. That students prefer ideas. The whole three lines will give you the overall idea about the passage. الفكرة بشكل عام. Paragraph D. In here there is here is the complement the completion of the whole passage. There is a drawback for the students who prefer the sensing style of learning. A majority of college professors prefer the intuitive learning style. These teachers value independent thinking and creative ideas. Students in the sensing group are at a disadvantage because their way of thinking does not match their teachers. So in paragraph D here, we have the professor's point of view. So what is the topic? Professor's point of view of sensing style of learning. So here is the professor's. So we have here something about the sensing style of learning. This is a topic. The main idea is a majority of college professors prefer the intuitive learning style. هذه الفكرة الرئيسية. Again, you can find the topic in the first line, or not always, but almost, and then you can find or identify the main idea in the first or the second. If you can't find it in the first, you should find it in the second to make sure. You should be sure about the main idea. Okay, here we have the other section now, words and phrases. Words and phrases. We have are at disadvantage. Are at a disadvantage. أيضا هذه من الphrases that you need to memorize. You need to memorize. And just go to this line. Students in the sensing group are at a disadvantage. Are at a disadvantage. So just try to use it in another context. And here we have understanding pronoun reference. Pronoun there. Okay, where is there? Their way of thinking, right here. Let us use the red one. Their way of thinking. Okay, who are they? There. Let us go back. Students in the sensing group are at a disadvantage because their way of thinking. Because there refers to students. So here we're talking about students. Hopefully that you keep just, go back and forth to understand what I'm doing, okay? We're doing some exercises regarding all the theories, all the strategies, all the skills that we have taken in the first and the second class. Well, basically the first one. In this one, let us read together and try to identify the topic and the main idea. Let us go on. First of all, in all college campuses, student life is very different from what it used to be because of technology, specifically the internet. At most colleges, all entering first-year students receive an email address, just like you, if you are a first-year student. Dormitory rooms after high-speed internet access. Dormitory rooms offer high-speed internet access. Computer systems are available to everyone in computer labs, the library, and student centers. Application for classes and registrations are usually now possible online. Most schools offer entire courses online. Many professors still have office hours when the students can come to talk with them about classwork or ask for help. But increasingly, students can contact professors 24 hours a day thanks to email. In many classes, students complete assignments and even take exams online. Perhaps most important for both students and professors, research is now easier and faster because of the new technology. Again, what is the topic of this passage? So here we are talking about the internet in the college campuses, in the student's life, okay? The internet or technology in the student's life. You can find, or the internet or online, you can find words. How to identify the topic? You need to see the repetitive words. What do you mean by repetitive? That those words that are mentioned again and again, more than 1 or 3 times. Technology, the internet, email address, internet access or high-speed internet access, computer systems, and we have computer labs, we have word like online, we have like here we have online also, email, exam online. So all of these, and here the new technology, all of these words, online technology, computer systems, internet, exams online, new technology, emails, all of these can be categorized under the umbrella of technology. So how many times they are mentioned? Around 6 times or more. So we are talking about technology, in a student's life. So technology in a student's life. Technology in a student's life. Okay, what is the main idea of the whole passage? Okay, how can we identify the main idea? We look back to the first or the second. On all colleges campuses, on college campuses, student life is different from what it used to be because of technology, specifically the internet. All entering, receive an email. So we're talking about here the main idea, the importance of technology, specifically the internet in colleges, campuses. Just the first line actually indicates the main idea. So in the past, students were very traditional. They don't use technology. But nowadays, they do use technology and the internet. Okay, understanding pronoun reference. Well, we have the pronoun them, and it is in line 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right here, let us read from the first sentence. Many professors still have office hours when the students can come to talk with them. Students talk with them, with the professor. So them refers to professors. Students can come to talk with them. Talk with whom? With their professors. Okay. Word and phrases. Again, we have some words in this passage that I want you to understand. Life is different because of technology. Because of technology. Internet or all technology are available to everyone. Available to everyone. Students' exams. Well, let us go back and see how can we find students and exams. So let us look first to the word like exams. Where do we have it? Okay, so take exams. Students complete assignments and even take. معناه يأخذ الامتحان. Take exams. This is a verb, right? Take. So please do memorize all of these words and phrases. Here let us move to section B, directions. We need to read the following paragraphs and choose the correct main idea for each paragraph. These are very short ones. These are there are very several events that can change the Earth's surface very quickly. Volcanoes can erupt and spread lava, rock, and ash of several miles. Earthquakes can leave large cracks in the Earth's surface. What is the main idea? What is the main idea? Several events can change the Earth's surface. Earthquake can cause large cracks. Volcanoes can be dangerous, or earthquakes. So where to find the main idea? The main idea that several events can change the Earth's surface. You can find it in the first line, right here. Let us move on. Most of the world's volcanoes are part of the Ring of Fire. This is a ring of volcanoes that form a circle around the Pacific Ocean. Thousands of volcanoes make up the Ring of Fire. These volcanoes form the seafloor and many underwater mountains. What is the main idea? There are thousands of volcanoes in the world. Most volcanoes are part of the Ring of the Ring of Fire. Some underwater mountains are volcanoes, the Ring of Fire. So we're talking most of the world's volcanoes are part of the Ring of Fire. Okay, so we're talking, so here is the main idea. We're talking about that most of the volcanoes are part of the Ring of Fire. So you can identify the main idea in the first or the second line. Okay, so in this one we're now moving to other section, getting meaning. Actually, it's not meeting. Getting meaning from context. Okay, so right here on the I have solved one of them. One of the on the one hand, there are many advantages to this system. On the other hand, there are also several drawbacks. On the other hand, from one point of view. On the other hand, from so on the other hand and on the one hand. On the one hand, from one point of view, from the on the here right here one. On the other hand, it means from another point of view. Okay, in a number of countries, education, both compulsory, required and universal, available to everyone, at least in primary school, elementary school. So what does compulsory means? Where is it? Here is right here. There is a sign. شو هي الsign حكينا عنها اللي هي punctuation. شو معنى compulsory? Required. أخذنا إحنا في المحاضرات الفاتحة how to get the meaning from context by using the punctuation. Universal. What does universal mean? Universal, it's right here. Universal means we have a comma, available to everyone. So the words between two commas identify or give a meaning to universal. So it means available to everyone. A primary school, it means elementary school because also it comes between two parentheses. You know, hopefully that you know what I'm talking about. There are many more schools in cities than in rural areas. Okay, so rural, what does it mean? It is against cities than rural. Here kind of comparison. We have kind of مقارنة between cities and rural areas. شو معنى rural areas then? شو معناها? What does it mean? It is the opposite of cities. So do it. Public schools are all both free and egalitarian. All students are considered equal and learn the same material. What does egalitarian mean? Here it is. We have a punctuation identify in this passage the meaning of egalitarian. So egalitarian means all the students are considered equal and learn the same material. We have another one. College students need a great discipline in order to make time for their studies. They need the self-control to give up hobbies, sport, and social life. So here it's asking us to define the word, to get the meaning of the word discipline. Where's discipline? Discipline is right here. أن هنا comma أو past colon. Discipline, it means in order to make time for their studies. This is what does it mean. Okay? They need the self-control. They need the self-control. Again, this is also the exact meaning for discipline. Self-control. So in order to make time for their studies, they need self-control. They need discipline. So self-control means, discipline means self-control. Okay, number 6. Results on these exams affect the entire family because there is high status or social position for a whole family in which children have high test scores. What does entire mean? Where is it? entire family. Okay, see, this is one phrase come together, and we have for a whole family. So entire means whole. It's just the same. Okay, status. Where is the status? Entire family, because there is a high status. Status, what is status? It means social position. Social position. هذه معنى high status. Social position. مكانة اجتماعية. The last one is students themselves decide if they want college preparatory or vocational classes in high school. No national exam determines this for them. What does determines means? Students themselves decide if they want to college preparatory or vocational classes in high schools. No national exam determines. Determines means decide. So it has the same meaning. Okay, for today we have covered so many exercises and we have applied all the reading strategies that we have learned in the first class, and these examples are actually quoted from your textbook, Interaction 2. And I have covered most, not all of them, but most of the important exercises. Please do it again and just contact me through email or the Blackboard to see if you have any problem. Thank you so much for listening. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.